Hello everyone, I'm Shaheen Alam, practicing physiotherapy since 6 years. I hope my video of concave convex rule was helpful for you. Today I'm here with a new topic, that is liver systems in human body.
First of all, let's understand what is liver. Liver is a movable bar that pivots on a fulcrum attached to a fixed point. The liver operates by applying force at different distances from the fulcrum. For any of the body part to move, appropriate muscles and bones, they must work together as a series of lever. Lever amplifies an input force to provide greater output force. In our body, bones they act as a lever, joint act as a fulcrum, and muscles act as a force. Let's understand few terminologies before we go ahead. Effort force, force that causes rotation of lever. Resistance force, force that opposes rotation of lever. Lever arm, it is the distance from the axis to the point where force is applied. Effort arm, it is the distance between an axis and effort force. Resistance arm, it is the distance between an axis and resistance arm. This is the diagram to explain the same. On left side you can see effort force, on right side resistance, in between there is an axis, and there is a left side effort arm, and on the right side there is a resistance arm. Let's understand about first class lever. It exists whenever two parallel forces are applied on either side of an axis and some distance from that axis, creating rotation of lever in the opposite direction. In this, your effort arm may be greater than or may be lesser than or may be equal to the resistance arm. Let's have a look at the examples. In first diagram, you can see joint in the neck is acting as a fulcrum and skull is acting as a resistance, and the force of the cervical extensors is acting as an effort. So basically here effort arm and resistance arm both are equal to maintain the posture of the head in the sagittal plane. Let's have a look at the second example, that is elbow extension when your hands are fixed. So in this you can see elbow joint is acting as a fulcrum and triceps action is providing an effort force, and weight of the arm is going to be the resistance. Let's understand about the second class lever. So whenever two parallel forces they are applied at some distance from the axis with a resistance force closer to the axis. Here effort arm is always greater than the resistance arm. Let's have a look at the example. Here if you can see, metatarsophalangeal joint is going to act as a fulcrum. Gravity is going to be act as a resistance, and the effort force will be provided by the plantar flexus. In this diagram you can very well see that effort arm is more than the resistance arm, and it has a mechanical advantage so that you can move throughout the day without getting fatigue. Here is third class lever. It exists whenever two parallel forces are applied so that effort force lies closer to the axis. Here effort arm will always be smaller than the resistance arm. This is the example for the same. If you can see, this is the elbow joint is acting as a fulcrum. Weight of the arm is going to be the resistance, and force of biceps muscle is going to provide effort force. So here we can see that resistance arm is more than the effort arm. It has a mechanical disadvantage, but yes, it provides a greater angular displacement. So majority of the muscles in our body, they are acting as a part of third class lever, which is mechanically inefficient, but it will fulfill the goal of human body, that is to have a maximum angular displacement in the space at the expense of energy. In the first diagram you can very well see, this is the example of third class lever. Small arc of movement can give a large angular displacement, but in the second, same amount of movement is giving less angular displacement. That is an example of second class lever. So definitely third class lever is there in the body to give large angular displacement, which is required to move freely in the space. Let's have an example of it. Here you can see elbow is acting as a pivot joint. Biceps muscles will provide the effort force. and bend the forearm against the weight of the forearm and any weight that hand might be holding. There is no mechanical advantage because the effort is greater than the load. However, this disadvantage is compensated with a large movement, that is, a small contraction of biceps produces a large movement of the forearm. So, few examples of levers in everyday life. Human leverage system is built for speed and range of motion at expense of force. Short arm and long resistance arm require greater muscle strength to produce the movement. Human leverage for sport skills requires several levers. For example, throwing a ball involves lever at shoulder, elbow, and wrist joint. The longer the lever, the more effective it is in imparting the velocity. For example, a tennis player can hit a tennis ball harder with a straight arm than with a bent elbow because the lever is longer and moves at faster speed. Long levers produce more linear force and thus better performance in some sports such as basketball, hockey, golf, etc. For quickness, it is desirable to have a short lever arm. Baseball catcher brings his hand back his ear to secure a quick throw. Sprinter shortens his knee lever through flexion that he almost catches a spike in his gluteal muscles. These are the few examples. Tennis racket, cricket bat, and softball bats are third-class levers. They make objects move faster and further. While rowing and diving, they are the example of second-class lever. They require quickness. I hope my video was helpful for you. If you like it, do share and subscribe. Thank you so much.